What's up, everybody? You're back in here, Pro Football Pod. You've got Hulk, you've got Coach, you've got Austin. We appreciate you guys stopping in today for the Titans record predictions. If I did that backwards, Coach is the one with the Dolphins hat on. They're over there. Subscribe down below, because once we hit 500 subscribers, we're giving away jerseys. Every time we gain 500 subscribers, we're giving away jerseys. Help us, help you. We're going to dive into the Titans here. A little bit about, not too many changes for them outside of like the leadership goes. They did get their new GM with Mike Borgonzi. Brian Callahan's coming in for his second season here. Obviously, the headline, they were able to draft Cam Ward. I really like the pickup with Alec Iomanner, Gunnar Helmet tight end, Kevin Winston Jr. at safety. I love that pickup for him. Oladejo at edge. I love the Titans draft class. I think they did really well with what they had available to them. Not to mention, in the offseason, they brought in Dan Moore Jr. at offensive tackle from the Steelers, Kevin Zeitler at offensive guard, Draymond Jones on the defensive side, Van Jefferson at wide receiver, and Cody Barton at linebacker. I believe linebacker is probably their biggest question mark on defense, outside of probably corner.
Yeah, I was gonna
say. Who's the other receiver? Who's the other receiver they drafted?
And Xavier
Chime DK. They drafted DK out of Florida. That they got him in the 4th round, and then came back and got Alec Iomanner about 33 picks later.
Nice.
So
I can't believe that they got Alec second, because he was so high on my list.
Yeah, to me, like, you just flip those picks and it looks that much better.
Yeah.
And then to get Restrepo on top of it is just...
Yeah, Restrepo is a UDFA.
Also getting Lockett in the offseason as well. Plus Van
Jefferson. That good veteran presence that Lockett's going to bring in. So let's go ahead and dive into it. We're going to break it down just here in sections for you guys. Week 1, they go into Mile High to play Denver, Bo Nix and Sean Payton and the boys. Week 2, they stay home for the Rams. Week 3, they stay home for the Colts. And then week 4, they travel to Houston. Me personally, I have them going 0-4 to start the season. In our Colts episode, I had the Colts taking that one, so I'm just going to keep it that way.
I did the same.
You think Cam Ward starts 0-4?
I do, because he's a rookie quarterback.
I think the Titans start 0-4.
Yeah, I think that whenever we talk about their offensive line, the two pieces that they brought in are the only serviceable offensive linemen they have. They've had zero chance to gel with anybody. Their best receiver in Ridley is going to want to just get 20 targets a game for him to be happy. And their running game is going to absolutely have an issue at the beginning. I think that they can potentially pull out some victories that are going to be close games later in the season. But for the first 4 games of the season being so hard, Denver, the Rams, Houston, these are 3 teams that could all potentially make the playoffs. And
I could see him going 1-3 in that stretch and taking the
trying to
Colts
give
game,
him one,
especially at home. But just coming out of the gate, you're looking at Cam Ward in week 3. And I love Cam Ward as much as the next guy, but he's not Superman. Like, I would have this same prediction if Pat Mahomes was the quarterback for the Titans.
No, I get that.
So to me, it's not Cam. It's more, I need to see what the Titans are actually going to be able to do as a team. And generally, these rooks take a few weeks to get their legs underneath them in order to just assimilate to the NFL.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm accounting for there.
I think that the Colts is the only game that would be close. And like you just said, Justin, whenever we just recorded our Colts episode, we gave the Colts the victory. I don't want to go back on that now that I'm talking to the Titans fans.
Yeah, we got to stick with it.
I think the Colts are going to win that game.
Now, there's going to be times where I absolutely do forget how I picked it for certain teams, and I'm going to pick it the other way in those episodes, so just be prepared. So, Austin, you think they're going 1-3 in that stretch, at least?
I wouldn't be shocked if they ended up 3-1, though. Like, I just wouldn't be surprised.
3-1.
Oh, I want to hear
it's
the
just
3 wins.
Their
Titans
receiving
are just
core
coming out the gate.
Well, yeah, you don't have much film on Cam Ward, especially in the NFL. So, and he's out there just cooking up in the offseason.
Yeah, we
So,
haven't seen a whole lot of Cam Ward running for his life in his
So
career.
that Titans defense versus Sean
What?
Payton in that Denver offense
is
did you
going
versus
to
not?
be
Matthew
Did you not catch my
Stafford
short? I mean, the
versus Matthew
man can't get
Stafford in
touched.
that Rams offense versus CJ Stroud in that Houston offense. Like, I'll give you Indy. Like I said, that one can go
1-3
either way
was
for me.
that was
But
okay. Like
3-1,
yeah,
like
holy
that
shit.
defense, I don't see that defense holding up against those
Hey,
offenses.
it's the
Yeah.
NFL, baby. Any given Sunday.
Yeah, any given Sunday is
gotta take it
absolutely
week by
right,
week.
but not those Sundays.
Their running game
Week to
has
week,
some
baby.
potential. Their receiving core, or I'm sorry, their cornerback and safety core is pretty, non-existent. They really don't have one. There's not a lot of depth there. Like if you look at their roster, like their depth chart, like they don't have a lot of like bodies that have
Yeah,
played
we're
really
in a
high level.
rebuild. So
Yeah. So
any victory is a huge victory.
I think that the Titans are going to have some struggles this year. I think they're going to show some flashes of like, hey, we can play football at a decently high level, and I
just
think that
wanna
they're going to get
quickly
some top
remind
picks
y'all-
next year.
Remind y'all of the Washington Commanders and how Jaden Daniels turned that entire franchise around. Nobody saw that coming.
Jaden Daniels
Nobody.
is a different type of quarterback than Cam
What number?
Ward.
I mean, second.
And Jaden Daniels
pick, like-
also had Terry McLaurin, at least at minimum. Ridley is not that player.
I think he's got enough talent spread out throughout the receiving room.
I hear you.
I really do like the receiving room.
I love the Gunnar
It's
Helm.
one of my favorites.
I love the Alec Manor. Like I love the players that they added. I was super big on all these guys. I just don't think that they can do it. But so we don't talk about the first 4 games forever.
Next 4, we've got week 5, they're going at Arizona. Week 6, they're going at Vegas. Week 7, they stay home versus New England. And week 8, they're going to Indy. I've got them going 2-2 in that stretch, with them taking the victories versus Vegas and Indianapolis.
Really?
Okay.
What was the first one again? It was
I think
Arizona.
Arizona. And then they're
At
staying
Arizona.
out west to go at Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think between those 2 away games there, I would lean to them being able to pull it out versus Vegas for their
Maybe a
first
tight
victory
one.
of the season in week 6. And then I think they split with the Colts. So they'll take the win on the road there.
I agree with the Vegas one in that I think that their running defense will be able to be solid enough to maybe slow down Genty if that's like who the Vegas offense is going to be running through, which is what everyone expects at this point.
Yeah, I like Vegas drafting Jack Besh. But I mean, outside of him and Jacoby Myers, like that passing offense, like
Yeah.
okay, like they have Brock Bowers, like that's freaking awesome, but it didn't really help him out that much last year, so I don't know how much it's going to help him this year. So if they're taking a victory, I think it would be that. Austin, what do you think they do in that stretch?
I agree with your take. I think they can beat Vegas. They can beat the Colts. I think they could maybe squeak by the Patriots.
I don't think they're beating
done well.
Vrabel versus the
No,
Titans
the Patriots
with New
are
England.
a new team this year.
Vrabel's first team versus his old team that fired him and let that
Maybe
dumpster
the
fire he had to
Cardinals
deal
with the pew choo 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 coach.
No,
like,
Vrabel's going to legit try to put up 65
could be an
points on the
easy dub.
Titans.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the Cardinals though. Like that, they could maybe.
Yeah,
Like,
that
those are
one,
both young teams.
It wouldn't shock me, honestly, if they ended up 3-1 in that stretch with the Cardinals, Vegas,
Yeah,
and
I like
Indy.
that little stretch of games for them.
Yeah.
That's what you call a get right stretch right there.
I think if Arizona loses versus Tennessee, that they should just completely like fold the rest of their season and try to go for a top pick and like get a quarterback. Because the only reason you lose that game is because the little man can't get it done. With all the pieces Arizona added this offseason, the way that they've improved over the last couple years, like this is it. This is their chance, and they need to be able to beat a team like Tennessee.
Yeah, this is a good year for him, a testing year. Like, because if it doesn't work out here though, like where would it work out for him?
Yeah,
I really don't know.
But yeah, I agree with the New England thing. I think that they win against Las Vegas, and then in the Indianapolis Colts episode, I had them sweeping the Tennessee Titans. I still agree with that right here, especially at Indy.
So you got them
15.
going 1-3
Alright.
through that stretch.
Yep.
All right.
Which means
So
I have them with 1 victory so far.
rough season, Tights. All right, so next 4, they've got Vegas at home before the bye week, and then they
You
come
mean
out of the bye.
Chargers,
Chargers, yeah. Sorry, guys. So the Chargers at home, then they got the bye week, then they're at home again versus Houston, at home again versus Seattle, at home again versus Jacksonville. Just you're staying in Tennessee for a month and a half.
That Jacksonville game.
I've got them going 1-3 in that stretch with the victory coming at home versus Jacksonville. I could see them possibly taking Seattle at home.
Yeah, that's a
But
pretty young team.
I'm not too confident in that one, so I've got them going 1-3 through that stretch. What about you, Coach?
0-4. Yeah. Obviously,
Coach
not
hates
Houston.
the Titans, confirmed.
I don't
He does
hate
not
them.
remember the Titans.
I wanted Cam Ward for the Dolphins because of how much I believe in him. I just think that as a total team, they're going to take a lot of work. If their offensive line was better, and I thought Cam Ward was going to have the time to make plays, the time to be able to move the ball around, and he was going to be able to look calm, cool, and collective all season, I think that they probably win half their games. But their offensive line is bottom 5 right now, with the 2 best players being brand new to the team, meaning that they're going to have to take some time to gel with the other 3 total dead weights. J.C. Latham was a rookie last year. Maybe he turns around his career and he starts to look great, but he didn't last year. Cushenberry, Skronsky, like these guys are not good. Aquanko, it's not like he's going to help the running game at all, and he's not that great of a receiving threat either. I think Gunnar Helm ends up taking his job by this point in the season, hopefully, because he can help the running game more, and he's actually a pretty solid receiver. So I like the future for Tennessee. I think in the next couple years, Tennessee is going to push Houston for being one of the best teams in this division. The other 2 teams, I think, are both on their way down. So I think that there's a lot of turnaround happening, but no, I think that this is not their year. Even after the bye week and 3 straight home games, I think that Tennessee Titans tickets are going to be real cheap.
Yeah, I would just be happy with seeing some real scrappy games for them, just staying in it to the end, not getting blown out.
I think that's possible.
But I think they could squeeze out 1 game in this stretch
against Seattle, or
yeah, I think Seattle.
Because Chargers, Houston, and Jacksonville's not that great, but like they at least have 2 first-round receivers.
Yeah,
and
that's the battle of the number 1 versus number 2 pick right there.
Yeah.
All right, so next we're
5.
just going to finish it out with the final 5 right here. On the road at Cleveland, on the road at San Fran, at home versus Kansas City, at home versus New Orleans, and then they're at Jacksonville. I've got them going 2-3 with that stretch, taking Cleveland on the road and New Orleans at home.
You want to go first, Austin?
It's a rough little stretch. I'd maybe give them maybe New Orleans. They could maybe, but like I don't know how New Orleans is gonna look. I really
with Derek Carr retiring and them not really drafting a quarterback early.
You think Cleveland beats them?
I think Cleveland's defense can stuff them.
Agreed. And it's a
Cleveland's
Week 14
defense
game
is solid
at Cleveland. I think that with Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson alone, that they could probably
see. I think
Tennessee
at that
Titans.
point in the season, Cleveland's starting to play for draft picks. So
yeah.
I don't have confidence
Tennessee.
in them.
I think New Orleans is the only team that the Titans play all season that I think is like easily a worse team. Just like on so many other levels, like easily a worse team. I had them beating
double down
Las Vegas because I think Las Vegas isn't great, but like they should be able to beat New Orleans, especially in Tennessee for the second to last game of the season.
What's his name's not even gonna be healthy. The receiver Olave.
Nope, he's not even going to be there.
He'll be out with a concussion.
So I've got him going 2-15.
I don't know. Derek Carr's not going to be throwing them hospital balls anymore, so he might be all right.
Yeah, somebody might.
All
though.
right, so as a
So what's the
recap
wrap
on
up?
that, I've got the Tennessee Titans going 5-12, the same
Okay.
record I had for the Colts.
Yep. I was
I
pretty
can't
rough
really
on 'em.
argue with that. That's pretty solid season, to be honest. If they get 5 wins,
Yeah, that gives them like a top 5 pick probably.
Yeah, they're still looking at like top 5, top 7.
I have them as probably like the number 2 or number 3 pick. I don't know if Cleveland's gonna like turn it around or whatever, but I think that they have more of a chance than the Titans this year, just based off of roster. Like the Cleveland
You had
also
them.
doesn't
You
have
got
that.
them going 3 and
No, 2 and 15. I don't have
2
them
and
beating Cleveland.
15.
I have them beating New
who
Orleans and Las Vegas.
Coach
who do you
hates the
think has a better
Titans.
first
Confirmed.
season, Cam Ward or Caleb Williams?
Williams. Caleb Williams had a lot more of a team around him, and like that's why. I don't think that has anything to do with the prospect. Now I will say Jaden Daniels is still the best quarterback to come out over the last 2 years. I would take Jaden Daniels over any of these guys. I'd probably say Jaden Daniels,
False.
Caleb Williams, and then I would take Cam Ward over Drake May. I think that he would have been the third quarterback drafted last year. He probably wouldn't have been, but he would have been my third quarterback drafted last year.
JJ McCarthy, Cam Ward, Jaden Daniels, Drake May. Go next.
You're hilarious.
I can't do
Then
it.
Caleb
I can't do it.
Williams.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to end the show right there before I get on a whole diatribe on Austin about his bias. So, hey guys, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Smash that button down below. Help us, help you. We're trying to give away jerseys out here. TulsiRoseTea.com is the sponsor. Peace out.
I hate
Chase
you.
the Titans.